Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, watching us from wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Pearl of Africa, and we are at the Lakeside Oval in Entebbe. This is game number 2 on match day number 1 of the International Cricket Council Women's Under-19 T20 World Cup Africa Division 2 qualifier. It's going to come through nice and easy. The sun is out. It's time to play. And I tell you what, this is the big one between Kenya and Mozambique. But first things first, let's hear what happened out there in the middle with the two captains.
To the second match on match day 1 of the 19 qualifier, Division 2 qualifier. With me are the captains, Melvin Kagoisa from Kenya and Amelia from Mozambique, and the match and tournament referee, Julia Chibaba. Kenya is the home team and they will toss, and Mozambique is the away team. Amelia will call. Tails is the call. Captain Mozambique.
Batting.
Amelia, what will you do?
Batting.
Okay, why have you chosen to bat?
Yes.
Why have you chosen to bat? Good wicket. Okay, yes. Thank you very much. Please pass it on to Captain Kenya. Captain Melvin, what would you have liked to do?
I would like to bat first, since the wicket is coming through it's dry, supporting batting, but we'll go with bowling. We are prepared anyway.
Okay. Good luck in the game.
Thank you.
Good luck. From the toss, Mozambique won the toss and will bat first.
You want to shake hands?
You had it out there in the middle, the two captains, Mozambique winning the toss, and there was a fist pump from the captain there. First battle, and you want to win the toss, you get to set the pace for how you want things to go about. Happy Women's Day, Davis. You are no woman, but I know you have women in your lives. So good afternoon, Davis. Take us through what you thought about this game after Mozambique won the toss and elected to have.
Pretty early bouncer from you there in the commentary box, but yeah, I thought important thing for Mozambique was winning the toss and electing to perhaps bat first, something they would have preferred to do. So you feel that, as you said, Mozambique would be happy that they won the toss on a belt of a wicket. Sun is out, looking like a decently good enough and fast outfield. So you think Mozambique will back themselves to get anywhere around that 60, 70 run mark. If they can do that, they'll feel that they'll have Kenya exactly where they'd want them.
Davis, to say Mozambique will be happy, Kenya will have some fire in their bellies. They will be thinking, we can bowl these ones out very quickly, go take a swim at the beautiful Lake Victoria Hotel. Made ever so famous there with a big dive from one of the former presidents of Uganda, Idi Amin Dada, back in the heyday. But I guess what? Everyone's saying Kenya are favorites. Kito through these ones like a hot knife through butter. Is that what you feel about the same thing?
Well, the reality of it is that Kenya are the most experienced side in the Africa Division 2 qualifier, because last time around they actually managed to win the tournament, so they are defending champions, went to Division 1 and unfortunately found themselves back into this division. So they do not want to make this their home of sorts. So they want to quickly get out of this division and go and look to tussle it out with the big guns, if you may say.
Welcome, very much welcome. Yeah, of course the umpires will be standing out in the middle. Ravi Anga from Botswana. Played hockey and handball for Southern African franchise union. You will see those umpires in a bit. We still have some time. David Karashani, why isn't Uganda?
Well, just let the viewers out there know is that Uganda sit in that Division 1, what you'd have called the Holy Grail, or the creme de la creme of the ladies, under-19 ladies on the continent. They sit there alongside Namibia, Botswana, Nigeria, Tanzania, if I'm not mistaken, and Rwanda. So those are the teams that will be waiting for the top two sides in this tournament to actually get to tussle it out in that final qualifier that will be happening in Tanzania. Remember, this is a pathway tournament to the teams trying to qualify for that Under-19 World Cup, slated for Bangladesh and Nepal next year.
Very well said, Davis. Of course, missing out on this one. They go make them fly over here. But this, the team squads play now. Team list. Davis will do the honors for Team Kenya. Lucas Mudundo, She's the skipper. Martino Murure, Leona Vigileno Madlate, Ilza Atur Machava, Carolina Litos Muchanga is the and Bitosa Kubil Villia, Tina Fonso Divan, another sub on the team, but Cinda Absalao getting a chance to alongside Julieta Mateus Makuaso, and the final player there, Anna Leonardo Machava and Julia Team Kenya.
They're led by Maivin Kagotsa together with Janet Macau, Alice Kairikui, Zainab Hamisi, Marion Jacinta, Tania Atieno, Stella Rogers, Nezere Oloch, Joy Juma, Nasi Wafula, Anne Odiambo, Mary Atieno, Rochelle Atamba, and Emil Kikuri. Those are the 14, but for them, those are the exact 11 who are going to be tasked to go out there and pick up an early victory for the Kenyans. As I said, they will want to make light work of this particular game against Mozambique.
The stop. Easy pickings there. Order team of Kenya. Do some body. Is by Jane Banja, who's also here to do coaching and managing duties. The motherly figure in the side, as well as I look at Marion Jacinta and Nancy Wafula, some of the players there in Kenya. For Mozambique, they won the toss. They said they would love to bat. So the captain, Amelia Lucas Mudundo, must carry the burden of scoring the lump sum of runs that her team will need to steer clear of a Kenyan side that will be hungry to get back to where they think they belong, where they think is their birthright.
Very difficult to say, but I'll tell you a thing or two about the Kenyan side. They have a very rich heritage of cricket, and they'll know that having been dominant on the continent, they really would not want to feel like they're making this division to kind of a place, a home of their own. So they want to quickly get back and rub shoulders with the very best on the continent. So, Innocent, to answer your question, I know Kenya will be hoping they can quickly get back to Division 1, and this time around be able to stay there. But do stay with us, as we should be boarding off in a couple of minutes.
And that is it. You can see the people that will be standing out in the middle working on Karen Claste. I already told you about her bludgeoning profile there. It's growing. She won't be doing any harm for her to stand out here. Her first game of the tournament with Ravi Angara. Ravi Angara with a name, Kenyan name, but I tell you, he is from Botswana. Ravi Angara umpired a couple of big games and will be earning all the mileage here. Those two will be with Veronica Iriho from Rwanda doing 30 duties today. And there are the ladies in green and red trotting onto the field, ready to strut out their stuff. Mozambique ambling out in the middle. My name is Innocent Ndaula. I am not alone in the comms box. I have a former captain for the Cricket Cranes, Mr. Davis Adonitwe Karashani. Good afternoon once again. Ready for the show?
Good afternoon, Innocent. Yet again, a pleasure being in the comms box on what, in my opinion, is a monumental day. Of course, it is the International Women's Day. Continue to thank all the wonderful ladies for the contributions they've made to our lives and the world in general. I'd like to give you a bit of a context in terms of, just give you a history of the inception of the International Women's Day. In 1909, the first National Women's Day was celebrated, strangely, on the 28th of February, where the Soviet Party of America organized a day to honor 1908 garment workers' strike. But quickly, just to take you where the real revolution happened. That revolution happened in 1975 when the UN took recognition of celebrating International Women's Day and going ahead to put together and recognizing that day as being 8th of March, which is this exact day that we are celebrating. So years down the road, continue to thank the work of those ladies there. Margaret Thatcher, I know, was in one of those meetings right after that Second World War that looked to try and bring out the protection of women's rights. So it's good to see that we live in the times to celebrate the hard work and the thought process and the gains that have been created by those wonderful women. So to our viewers out there, yet again, happy International Women's Day as we get straight into the cricket on match day number 1, match number 2, Kenya up against Mozambique.
Talking about Women's Day, a couple of women of their nations have some and even more watching and also in our midst. Kenya already getting things started. Good line and length from the opening bowler. It's business time. You can feel the voices on the park. Everyone is ready to rumble. Amelia Lucas Mudundo, the that one. Sergio Namvingo, on the other end, but it's Janet Macau with one saying that's the way to go, Mama. Of course, everyone in Africa will know what Mama means. Trying to pump up their bowler, getting the volume levels high up there. Not here as mere participants. They want to compete and win it all. They will not say it. They will want to make sure that their actions are speaking for themselves. But the scoreboard gets ticking wide. More wides on off. Does that tell you what type of afternoon lies in store for you, Davis?
Let's speak about that particular column, that extras column. I think it will be a very important one in this kind of tournament, Division 2 Africa T20 qualifier. So you feel that you'd want to see that a lot of the teams are bowling as full and straight as possible. But because these are youngsters, they're trying to harness their skills. Sometimes they can be caught guilty for bowling a couple of extras.
But I like it's good pace, good real wheels of pace. I fumble in the field, a chance for a second. The court sitting on their butts and bad watching. But they scamper through for the second. Home, safe and dry. Janet Macau, one of the fast rising talents for Kenya. She'll be thinking she'll walk into the footsteps of one of our coaches, Margaret Banja Ngoche, from that famous Ngoche family. Davis, you enjoyed a lot of battles with them, from Nehemiah to Shem to even
Lamek himself, Lamek as well as one of the, I think he's the firstborn in that family. There was Cash.
yes.
Because Joseph did not play much in Kenyan colors, but that family really feel that they have had such a massive contribution to Kenyan cricket. That's just the men. When you speak about the ladies, I think Sarah, there's Margaret, whom we just talked about. I know there's Doreen.
There's also Mary Bele.
So it's been a case of their service and their contribution to Kenyan cricket is one that is literally immeasurable.
And it gives me joy that Shem is still wearing those colors, even when the clock is ticking the other way for him.
Well, Kenyan cricket has been very built around that bit of sibling, not just a rivalry, but the siblings getting into, and yeah, someone actually really states that that family cohesion coming to the party for Kenyans, it's something they've benefited from quite a lot. But speaking about benefiting, short and wide delivery there, and we get to see the first boundary of this particular match. Comes off the waiting blade there of the captain herself. Amelia manages to swat that behind square on the offside. Mozambique are literally up and running.
End of the over, and what a way to wrap up the over. Very good way to wrap up with the ball. So 9, make that 8 runs in the over after 1. They will be singing all afternoon long if the runs can continue to flow in the same manner, in the same vein that they got 8 runs in the first over. Team Mozambique, the DJ was on fire in the morning. At hall number 17 at St. Andrew's Church, the choirs were also in good, rich form, and the dugouts of the two teams in the morning, Malawi and Cameroon, really found their voice. And now, Mozambique doing copy and paste. Be wild. Karin will indicate, does that go to the boundary? The chase in vain for the Kenyans. They don't have the quickest pair of heels. And look at how they get 5 runs to the total. The scoreboard is ticking for them early on, and runs will matter in this one.
Back-to-back boundaries it is. We did say earlier they will not mind how they come. And see, Mozambique will hope if they can get to that 60-70 run mark. They should be able to ask some questions of this Kenyan outfit. But good to see, not seen very many left arm fast bowlers in the tournament. So it's good to see the youngster trying to operate from that end. Kenya will be hoping that she can actually yield a lot of returns.
Yeah, you can see that she's cramped up for room right there. Those will be good lines for her to bowl. Oh, that's real magic. And in Nazarene Oloch. So Oloch, another famous name for the Kenyans there when it comes to cricketing circles. My prayer will be that it is still flowing in the family, in the veins of family blood, with another Oloch who we know was played for Kenya. Again, there, big appeal. Yes, Karen Class, there is no wasting. You keep with the bat, you will be packing. Been trapped, leg before wicket, plap in front by the left armer. Celebration. Karen Oloch. Little words there will be shared. Take heart. He got some 5 wides up front. He couldn't get bat on ball there. De La Rosso, you can go take a breather. There is a second inning to come, and maybe your contribution will be then.
In the veins of family blood.
Just having a look at her earlier on in the warm-up. She has a good action. Good high arm release. Pulls that right into the block hole there. And I like the lines. The line was perfect. That was only missing leg and off stump, but crashing into middle. Easy decision there for Karen, who's able to literally raise that dreaded finger. And Kenya strike.
New batter in, Anna Leonildo Machap. Cut. The intent is clear from Leonildo Machava. Gets off the mark.
I think I like this approach, Innocent. For me, it's not just attacking, but it's a case, you can see a case of enjoyment out there by the Mozambique batters, which they're going to go out there and chance their arms, throw everything that they can at the Kenyan bowling, And they'll be hoping that if they come good and get to that 70-run mark, they will be able to ask some tough questions of Kenya. So for me, the approach for me is fantastic from the Mozambique batters so far.
Davis likes the approach, maybe because they're playing in a V that was one of his liking back in the heyday, not the V that is taught in our cricketing school.
Pay little attention to what Innocent is saying. Mozambique batters out their main business, looking to pounce on anything, any width on offer. More support there from that Mozambique dugout. It's exactly what I talked about, Innocent. I like to see youngsters enjoy themselves and not worry too much about the results.
As the team all the way from Southern Africa, you come to East Africa, you know you're your only fans. The rest of the fans can only cheer on from TV and won't do much to support the cause. But the people on the park next in your dugout are your best friends. Amelia.
Let's take a quick look at what the coach of the Kenyan team, Maurice Ouma, what you're seeming to indicate to the fielders, perhaps, and the captains that they need to take the pace off and bring the spinners on as quickly as possible. He's recognized that the batters from Mozambique are simply just looking to make full use of the pace that the Kenyan seamers are giving them. So it's good to see tactics from a very, very intelligent cricketer. He was, in my opinion, one of perhaps the best captain Kenya never had. Thought he had a great cricket brain. Unfortunately, that his career was obviously curtailed couple of years a bit early. But it's good to see him give back to cricket and come out here as the coach of these youngsters.
In our era, he was nicknamed Cold Maso. Chris Amolo. Uma. A very good wicket keeper, very good gifted hands, Morris. And up the order, he was that wanted to get innings off in a good gear. We'll talk about Morris later, but it's the end of the second. And the score is 15-1. If you just tuned into this stream, you will know that it's a very good afternoon here in Entebbe, the Lakeside Oval. The first capital for Uganda, a protectorate capital back in the heyday when the mission came preaching but brought guns.
You had to go down that route.
Tell you what, faith is one thing and believing is another. But into the attack, the skipper saying, I won't save best for last. I'll bring myself into the attack. Melvin Kagoisa.
Well, the message was clear there. The tactics there from Coach Morris, asking the captain to take all the pace off. And she obliges and does exactly that. But unfortunately for her, she bowls that a bit too short and allows the batters to get on the back foot and swat that through the covers. Work to do. I like this contest already. It's good to see already both teams are putting on the thinking caps. There's no time to actually take a bit of a breather. Did mention earlier for me, the Mozambique batters can take a liking to anything bowled with width on offer. Speaking about Morris earlier, Morris, I will tell you, having played against him, he wasn't the quietest behind the stump either.
Our production crew will show you Morris, the man we're talking about, shades on top of his cape, like when he used to play. He always had some nice words, choice words, call them choice words.
I was about to correct you. I don't think I would call them nice. But I guess you got to understand that that was the heat of the moment itself. But he was a wonderful guy off the cricket field. We've been unable yet to find her radar. Straight down the leg side, and he's very fortunate not to have paid the full price for that one. But you'd want to see a ball a lot slower, because it's exactly what her coach was trying to tell her, to get her charges to bowl slow and take pace off for the batters.
There you are, bullseye for Melvin right in the middle, and she arranges the furniture in the house of Amelia Lucas Mudundo. The skipper goes for 6 of 10 balls, and a celebration all round for the Kenyans, who will get into that hurdle, that sack of trust, and continue to believe that maybe they can pick up 8 wickets in quick time. Charge of they are feeling the pain.
Responds much better there. Takes all the pace off the delivery, Melvin, and gets just enough turn off the wicket to clutter straight into middle stump there. And bullseye it was. And Melvin delivers. Perhaps a pay rise there to Coach Morris. Omar for picking that.
We're back. And there is the left armer is back. Oh, watch there. Nice one, clipped off her legs onto the onside. Coming back for the second. And the runs on offer. 2 to the total of Team Mozambique.
Innocent, that shot number 2 for Mozambique, a number that was made his very own, the captain of Mozambique. Tall, lanky, medium pacer, but a handy middle order batter. Of course, that particular team is led by that gentleman, but also they heavily rely on the musician, the artist, who bats at the top of the inning for them. I think it's called Falapio or something like that at the top of the inning. It's good to see Mozambique cricket not only make headway in men's cricket, but also in the ladies' game. It's exactly what you want to see. That's the measure of growth.
Keeper does the chasing all the way down the line. Mozambique continue to find runs whichever way. Kenya would like to dominate. Mozambique don't play.
Innocent, we were earlier speaking about the significance and the impact families do have on sport today. I think here at the Entebbe Oval itself, we are very, very honored to have Benjamin Musoke and his family around. We do not take that for granted. Played seasoned middle order batter for Uganda for the Cricket Cranes for very close to 20 years, could even be more. So for him to make time and actually bring his family, his children, Uganda will be hoping that some of his children can actually go on to don that Uganda, either Victoria Pearls or Cricket Cranes yellow and red stripe.
It would be a nice sight for me for the Twins to play the game. Good height of them already. One can make a good opening bowler for the Victoria Pearls. Another can bat mid-order like some of Benjamin Soke's players, Simon Subuga. He used to bat Henry Simbwa down there in the mid-order and give Uganda some resistance when they discourage of the order.
But more importantly, both of them to field in the covers.
Well said, Davis. Couldn't have said any better. We'll go chat with the young ones. None of them is taking up cricket. One is swimming and the other is playing soccer. What a loss. But early days to say that as a conclusion.
Yeah, the Kenyan Daga are looking very comfortable there. Feel that they'll know that they are reasonably on top of this one. Oh. She pulls out of that delivery. Do you think it is perhaps maybe a warning to the non-striker not to leave her crease a bit too early and risk getting herself run out?
A bit of both, maybe. The benefit of doubt will go to her. Whatever she did, only she does know.
The man card is not exactly the world's most high spirit kind of dismissal.
There she goes, the left eye. Give Nazarena Oluch another wicket. Anna Linaldo Machava is gone with the wind. 3 down now for Mozambique. They are in a deep trouble, a spot of bother for now.
Beautiful delivery there. Right in the block hole. Cleans her up. Not much foot movement there by the batter. But you feel Kenya have literally recovered in this particular game. Felt Mozambique were quickly out of the blocks, but Kenya has found some resistance and managed to peg back that onslaught. Mozambique find themselves at 23 for 3. Mozambique, you feel, would want to get that 60-70 run mark. It might be a little bit troubling of the Kenyan batters later on.
New batter in, Leona Vagelino Mandlate. They're asking the left-hander to continue speaking, says Yongea. She keeps it out, shot number 1 for Mozambique, Leona. There's a little bit of a build-up job to do. And that's the end of the over. 23 for 3 after 4.
Great recovery there from Nazarene. Remember that she conceded 5 runs off her first delivery, but has only gone on to concede 5 runs off the next 12 deliveries, picking up a wicket there. So it's been a great return for her. Could come back, and as Melvin continues to operate from the airport end.
Lucky edge there. Does it run it to the boundary? No, it won't run to the boundary. They will get 2 runs. So there's a chance for a third, but where is she running to? She's running into trouble.
I'd like to see Melvin bowl a little bit slower. Just take.
In the air, who wants it? In the air, and it is spilled. Oh, the milk in the basket is spilled. Unfortunate for the youngster at this age. You've got to keep your eyes closer to the ball, and you've got to continue to pump the youngsters to pull off such small, simple catches. Otherwise, Melvin Kagoisa there misses out on a second wicket. Toss this time round, not punished. Hit straight to the fielder. Leona Vagilino converting.
Innocent, I repeat, I would like to see Melvin ball a little bit slower. I feel the fact she tries to keep putting the ball. She's either bowling a bit too full, but it becomes a bit too easy for the batters we've seen from Mozambique who have pounced on anything with pace. So I'd like to see her get some punches out of the wicket by giving it a bit more revs, getting some more revs on the ball, put it with some more flight and get some turn off the wicket. And that, I would imagine, will be able to trouble the batters a bit more.
Taking off pace is the name of the game. Melvin is too quick for the youngsters at this level, and then she will know and she will learn quickly on the job. What an effort in the deep from the Kenyans, but still wide. And the umpire Ravi Angara will indicate 4. So there's a 5 wides. Melvin Kagoisa, a senior player for me. She first played for the senior women's team of Kenya in 2022 during that formation in December, where Proskovia lacked a cut loose and made Gymkhana her own homestead. But now, for the number of years she's played, she knows better. Take the pace off. Be the brighter one. Still too quick. And there is a misfield. Chance for a run. Yes, no, wait, and come back.
She made a debut for the senior national team. Okay. Senior Kenya national team. We'd have expected her to have a bit, to look to draw back on her experience. This time around, she's not able to do that, and she's continuing the ball a bit too quick. I only wish that someone would send a slight message to her to be able to take the pace off and understand and read the game based on what is required. But Mozambique will not mind that.
It's been fruitful for them. The runs have been milked in the over. And you can see that Mozambique in just 5 overs, as you see the flags of the nations here flying already in the Pearl of Africa. The score is 3-3 after 5 overs. There's a change in the bowling for Kenya. The left armer will take a break. The new bowler will start with wides.
And that extras column we did speak about earlier on continues to tinker the scoreboard. You want to see Stella Rogers get her radar straight on as quickly as possible.
Who wants it? The bowler unable to hold on to it, and there is a chance for a quick run. A good save in the fielding. Davis, the score is 35 and 15, 36 and 15 of those runs are extras as Stella comes into the bowling attack. Almost half of the runs. That is a shot played with precision. The intent was clear. They run through for 2 very quickly. The backup half-hearted. Look at Mozambique waiting and looking to pounce and pay them for the lapse in fielding by taking another run. Stella Rogers with the ball across the line. The keeper is holding nothing. Must not be caught there admiring the shot.
That shot trying to look pierce that deep mid-wicket area. And you can see again she's continuing to go in that direction. Nearly straight out of your academy, Innocent. But she's yet to find the middle of the bat. But you feel at 38 for 3, just 2 balls to complete that power play. Mozambique will be the happy of the two sides.
She connects one there and they'll run. Davis Karashani has come here with an axe, with a small knife job. The violence, but all good. No love lost.
Well, the grin on your face when she finally connected says it all.
The top order, Davis. I never used to bat in the top order, so please, fault me not. Karen Cluster this time round. Only giving freebies to Stella Rogers. End of the over now. 6 Mozambique. Who wants that? The bowler underneath it, and she holds on dearly. Shot number 12, the bowler, the catcher, caught and bowled chance. Janet Macau. Janet Macau comes back in her second over, and she picks up a wicket up front. Good stuff, Janet. Bring all that experience from the senior women's team where she has also played in the qualifiers previously.
Good fortunes for her there. The batter this time around, unfortunately, trying to go across the line, but could only hit that. Wasn't able to get over the square. Very well taken catch there by Janet. Kenya want to make inroads. Shouldn't allow. They'll be hoping not to allow Mozambique get to that 65-70 run mark. So they can look to try and make light work of that mid-order and peg them back. Be happy with anything around that 50 run mark. And that Mozambique, on the flip side, Mozambique will be hoping if they can bat anywhere close to 18 overs, they should very easily get to 60. Webben get more, and there it is, umpire Kerin stepping in there to direct the traffic out there. The batters, the new batter is supposed to be in the strike, obviously following that change in the rule. Kenya have consistently just left the third man and fine leg fielders out of the two fielders they have had patrolling the boundary. They haven't seemed like they've been worried about the batters pouncing on the other boundary options. They've kept it to that. We're yet to see another slow bowling option being introduced by Melvin.
Janet has done well thus far. The wicket finally. She'll be making that she makes the most of her. Of her second over now. Playing with power. Chance to run. Look, she's looking for the ball everywhere else, yet it is between her legs. They won't be blaming her. Instead, they are pumping her up to do even better. The 4 is up in a good time. Only problem is that they've lost many wickets in a quick time. It's in the air again. Macau almost pulling off an athletic effort.
And the viewers out there, this is the Division 2 Africa T20 qualifier. As 5 nations flew into Entebbe International Airport try and log horns to get into those two final slots to get into that Division 1 run-out opportunity. It is all happening here between the 22 yards as 5 nations look to tussle it out for those 2 slots for them to get promoted to the Division 1 qualifier. It is a pathway event as teams look to try and get slots into that Under-19 World Cup that will be happening in Bangladesh and Nepal. It's great to see youngsters, especially girls, getting an opportunity at elite sport.
And with power. What a fine stop from Nazarene Aloch. There she gets the high five from her teammate Tanya Atieno. Nazarene at a mid-off. Tanya at mid-on. The two have been guilty of looking for balls when they could have stopped them and executed a run out, but they do very well, especially Nazarene. Again there with the horizontal bat. This time round, Tanya Atieno cuts it off and they get one. Interesting one. I don't know how many Kenya will think are enough for them to chase down in quick time, considering the fact that the season in Uganda is not what you would call a perfect summer. There is the Mozambique dugout. Batters ready, waiting for their chance to be the ones to bask in glory. End of the 7th, and it's 43 for 4.
Well, Innocent, as we speak about the budding cricket careers of these young ladies that are playing in the tournament today, one of those seasoned campaigners, the curtain came down, near career, Alyssa Haley. It's gone down as a great of women's cricket in Australia. Today she played her final test. A test that was won very easily in 3 days by Australia. But what a servant she's been to Australian cricket, Australian women's cricket.
That's in the air, chance to catch. Catch easily taken. The celebrations for the Kenyans will continue on the run and give a very beautiful little hug to the fielder. Tanya Atieno dropped one previously, looked for one between her legs, but she holds on dearly onto this one. And there she is in your frame, completing the catch. Celebrations all around for the Kenyans.
There, slightly interslowed there, but unable to get that over the judge there by Tanya at mid-on. And the wheels are coming off here for Mozambique. They've lost half their side in under 10 overs. They need to find some more willing batters to stay out there, put in the hard yards, put together a bit of a decent partnership.
I felt the shot was on. She got into it, but she didn't get enough power right behind the shot to make sure that she gets the full value. Instead, she holds out. He's swallowed.
Well, she was unable to get that elevation that perhaps you're talking about, but we must remember this is the Under-19 tournament, so it's key that you have your basics right. I would prefer the approach of trying to hit the ball on the ground and probably running hard, especially at this level whereby the basics are very, very important. And I've said before, for me, the team that has the best basics at the end of the 8 days of the tournament will be the one that will actually qualify for Division 1.
In the block hole, Regina Osvaldo Machava keeps it out. Listen to the voices on the park for the Kenyans. They tell you the full story in its entirety. They are happy with how things have gone. There she goes, the French card, chance for a run out. Throw to the keeper is very much high above her head. The run out won't be completed. On the guilty party with the poor throw is none other than Mark. Again, back-to-back dot balls. Stella Rogers completes her second over. A fine spell for her thus far. 1 for 7 in 2. And the score after 8 is 44 for 5. From the airport end now, Rochelle Atamba. A fast bite at the cherry. She'll be looking to make the most of it. And maybe remind her skipper, you bowled me a little too late. Would have wrapped it up for you. Regina trying to tear the cover off the ball. I don't remember seeing a woman or even a man who has done that.
What does get her radar straight up? She needs to have it on target. She knows that she's bowling at a very important passage of play here. If she does not bowl too well, you then allow Mozambique to get out of trouble. Mozambique will not mind that if they can find out keeping the board ticking. Goes for another hoik. Run out opportunity, not taken, but great pick up there by the fielder. By mid-wicket.
Superb stuff.
Marion Jacinta, it was there. Great pick up. Beautiful cricket, you'd say all round there. Pound for pound stuff here. Mozambique are not taking this lying down. 45 for 5.
They'd love to run, but nowhere to go. That's hit right under the nose of the fielder. Look at the high fives. They continue to support each other. And that's how you play the game. Stallion, not in action today, but they have watched both games. There will be no freebies from Freetown when they come into action. Catching practice. The catch is taken. Easy pickings for Team Kenya. Cinda Absalau was looking to ignite the gears. Instead, she hits it in the air. A lot of flight on that one. Rochelle strikes. And the catch is taken by Marion Jacinta. Wicket number 6 falls.
Just looking at where she stands, especially when you look at the replay. Way outside off stump. Not too sure if that is intentional, but if it is, I don't think it's such a bad tactic, but unfortunately for her, she could only simply spoon that to a waiting field at mid-wicket. Jacinta Marion does the easy job there. Completes an easy catch. Continue to see teams struggle to bat out their overs. We're yet to see any anyway. We saw Cameroon only bat just a tad over 13 overs. You felt Mozambique just needed to ensure that they keep batting for quite a reasonably decent time. The runs were going to continue coming. Ooh, that's a full toss. The batters didn't seem very interested in pouncing on that one.
Ball as indicated by Karine Claste. A square leg. So he runs on board now for them. And there will be the free hit. Atamba, the first time bowling one that does not look like she would ever put in her spell. Let's see what happens to the free hit. Malena Anasto. Completely missed. Davis here with a grin on his face. Looks like he expected it to be missed.
Not exactly. I would like to see a slight change in approach, especially from Mozambique. If they can just look to knock the ball around, show some bit of desire to want to bat long. I know it's a T20 game, but it's key that you try and give yourselves the best chance of getting the best number of runs that you can. feel like if you all go too hard too early, you then find yourselves getting guilty and unfortunately getting balled up. But with that dot ball brings an end to the ninth. Mozambique 46 for 6.
Kenya will look at the scoreboard and think we are 4 wickets away from our second innings, which will be their innings. For Mozambique, they'll be saying, how do we play out the remaining 66 balls? Wides on offer. There have been many of them in the innings thus far. I was giving you the numbers, Davis, earlier, and they said numbers don't lie. 19 extras thus far now, out of a total of 46. What does your math tell you that how many have come off the bat?
If we can get to that, that simply means that the extras have been the highest run scorer for Mozambique. This time pounces on that one beautifully. Does it have enough to get to the boundary? Yes, it does. Much needed boundary there for Mozambique. As more importantly, they crossed that 50-run mark. 51 it is for them of 6 for the loss of 6 wickets.
I know, Davis, you'll be taking a break to go have your late lunch after this over, but I would love you to leave a question in the floor for Tanya Atieno, who's always going to the boundary. Leave a quick incoming commentator on what the part score will be. How you phrase it, onus is on you. She plays all rounded. Playing soccer in a cricket match is a guilty sin, and she must leave the crime scene already because she's trying to look at the umpire for forgiveness. But I tell you what, she's gone. Regina Osvaldo Masumba, guilty party for kicking that one. Very straight. Dismissed. 51 for 7 now as Kenya continue to celebrate. As Mozambique look to reignite the innings with Eliza Atur coming through to bat at number 9.
For the youngster there, Stella Rogers. But I've had a bit of a mixed spell, you would say, but that one coming back strongly after conceding a boundary. Balls that full and straight. That's a judge, not a judged out there by the umpire. Easy decision, and Kenya yet again celebrate. They'll be hoping to get rid of the tail pretty quickly.
Chance to run. The fielding effort, they are not good enough from Mary Atieno. 2 Atienos in the squad here for Kenya. Tanya Atieno done a lot of good fielding. You see her do a lot of the talking with the bat. And here's Mary Atieno. Big swing, big miss. The keeper is happy to collect. Zainabu Hamisi. Flight on offer. Batter, as soon as she keeps it out with a dead straight bat, she's back posing, waiting for the next delivery.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I think for me, I don't mind that, especially considering that they have another 61 deliveries to go in this inning. They're not short of resources. They just need to find batters to stay there. But I guess commentators discuss.
Trying a little too much. There, she perishes. This time round, she didn't stop it. She went for a flashy, big drive downtown. But it's only her who will be going back to the heart after missing a straight one with the middle stump uprooted. Mozambique are 52 for 8 now.
Roll ball yet again, full and straight, and this time the batter unable to keep that run out. Pretty, you'll say there for the youngster Stella Rogers. She's having a dream first match of the tournament. The wheels have come off here for Mozambique. They were in a decent position, especially at the end of the power play. They were 38 for the loss of 3 wickets. You felt that they were putting up more than just a resistance. They were proving to be contenders of sorts. But it's this middle phase that they have literally catapulted and find themselves in a lot of trouble.
Atamba is back from the airport end, looking to get as many more runs. They will feel 50 is not good enough, but they'll say we can motor on from here and maybe get another 20. I don't know if they can. Another 59 balls left in the innings. How many of them can they play is the bigger question. If they play out the 58 balls remaining, maybe they can get 20 more runs and maybe come up in the second innings and put on a fight of sorts. But it's all a tale of if wishes were horses, then maybe beggars would ride.
I'm interested in seeing Bitosa take strike, because when you look at just how much she's backing up, you can see she has intent of trying to get on strike. That hunger for me shows a batter who is interested in going there to make a contribution. But unfortunately for the batter, they cannot get it in the sky. A catch very well completed there by the captain, Melvin. She's having a dream day as well, leading from the front.
The dismissal for you again there, Rochelle Atamba, with the figures made in heaven. And this is how she dismissed the wicket number 9. High up in the air from Atur. And look at Melvin running through and telling everyone else, this is mine. And yes, she holds on dearly, making a very tough chance look very simple. 52 now for 9. Those figures for Rochelle Atamba Davis, you can't buy them in a supermarket. $1 billion. 2 for 2 in 1.3.
Speaking about figures, Frank Sobga at one time held the record for the, I think, most economical spell in a T20 World Cup. At that time, he went with just 4 runs in his 4-over spell against Papua New Guinea in a game where Uganda won their first ever game, the T20 World Cup. But that record only scored just a day, if I'm not mistaken. Lockie Ferguson, a day or two. Lockie Ferguson came a day or two later on, and actually I think bowled 4 overs for just 1 run against PNG, picking up 4 wickets. So when you speak about mighty spells, this as well from Atamba is one of those that is looking to be one in the record books.
Very miserly, economical, or even say parsimonious, if you know the King's language.
You carry your dictionary today.
Yeah, you've heard, you have good story. End up as a commentator.
Couldn't have said it any better, but back to the cricket itself. Mozambique trying to get themselves to that 60-run mark. Hits that in the air. Fortunately for the batter, it goes over the infield. They scamper through for 2 runs, run out opportunity. Bowler doesn't collect, and the batters scamper through for a second successfully. It is all happening there between the 22 yards. Mozambique trying to get themselves a decent first innings score. Something they feel that their bowlers will be able to bowl at.
Last wicket. Last 2 women standing. Julius Mateus Macauso and Bitosa Villa. End of the over. 55 for 9 after 11. The voices on the park here must be indicating one thing. They want it all over very quickly. Flight on offer, but it's down the line. Trying to overcompensate. They are trying to be a little too accurate. Sometimes when you try too hard, you pay the price. Again, they're almost chopping to her on stumps. 11. Julieta Makauso. Again, big appeal. Karen Cluster has been in unforgiving mood today. And another one will bite the dust. Julieta will go without disturbing the scorers. 0 of 3. It's been the tail of the tape. Kenya right on top from the onset, irrespective of the fact that they gave away 21 runs in extras. Mozambique are 56 all out. And it's been that type of game, Davis.
It's been an inning of two halves, you would say. Felt that Mozambique were decent at the start. Just looking at the replay, but you see where the batters stand right. It's as if they take the off-stump guard. So anything that hits it to the pad becomes an easy decision for the umpire. Couldn't have gotten any better than that one. But yeah, that wicket brings an end to the Mozambique inning. They've been cleaned up for 56. Light work, Kenya will feel. In just over 10 overs, really. Mozambique were asked some very difficult questions, but the scorecard there for Mozambique, not many batters, only one batter managed to get into double figures. Matiano Murere managed to get 10 of 10. The rest of the batters unable to get into those digits, just single digits, there it is. But the important column there is the 21 extras conceded by Kenya, but the bowling unit for Kenya, Rogers managed to pick up 4 wickets for just 14 runs. Atamba picked up 2 wickets for just 4 runs. Oloch picked up 2 wickets for just 10 runs. It's been a fantastic and a dream bowling card for the Kenyans, managing to bowl out Mozambique for just 56 runs. They will be chasing 57 runs to pick up their first victory in the tournament. Do stay with us as we will return for the second inning.
Unfortunately,
Exactly what I was about to say. I think for me, I don't mind that, especially considering that they have another 61 deliveries to go in this inning. They're not short of resources. They just need to find batters.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Entebbe. We are the lakeside over here. Beautiful weather for cricket. The sun has come on nicely. And look at the lush green in your background with the two teams back out in the middle to greet out the staff. This is what Mozambique said. And 57, it will be the magical number for Kenya. I am not alone in the comms box. Rashani. My name is Innocent Daula. Good afternoon, Dave. Welcome back to the second innings.
Good afternoon to you, Innocent, and the viewers out there that are watching this particular broadcast. It is the Division 2 Women's Under-19 now qualifier. It is a pathway tournament. The two teams that will finish top in this five-nation tournament will qualify for Division 1 tournament. That will be played in Tanzania later this year. And it is in that tournament that the solitary slot of the African continent will go to the team that will finish first and make their way to Bangladesh and Nepal in actually 2027 for the Under-19 World Cup. That's a slot that was taken up by the young Yellow Greens of Nigeria. This time round, all teams will be at the even mark as all teams try to dash for that tough finishing, that last slot in the T20 World Cup.
Full toss on offer. That is screamed up and over by the keeper batter of Kenya. She says, welcome to the bowling attack. Yudni Dakle Martino. As Hamisi says, I kept wickets for full innings. And now I'll show you by creaming one to the side screen. This is a real good afternoon, Davis. Good afternoon again.
Welcome. If you ever needed a wake-up call, that was it there from the young Zainab. The replay there gets a very full delivery. Slow pitch, slow delivery. As the batter leans into that one. Hits it to the safest place on the cricket field. Straight into the screen. Fielder finishes second in that chase. Kenya's run chase is underway.
To 57, to just 53. Quick. With a whole lot of 119 balls to play. I like how she leans into that one. Real top order, batter looking posture. You look at that, and immediately, Davis, you'll be sweating to saying, this one will be the first one on my 11.
Well, just looking at those, just the first two deliveries that the Kenyan batters have faced. For me, I feel like they're not looking for just the win points here, but they're looking to set an early marker for all the other four nations in the tournament that they're here and mean business. They want to get straight into that Division 1 slot.
Another full toss, but the guilty party, the only reason why that one didn't go to the boundary is because she went to the horizontal bat. Getting a little too excited. She should have the bat. Chance from both dugouts, but chance won't matter in this case. It's the runs on board that you put on against what they can score. Again, leaning into that one there with the full face. She looks too good with the full face. When she goes agricultural, there's no produce for her.
Innocent, I feel like the youngsters are now, but they are seeming to play in two gears. She said they're going to take a walk or she's going to block. You want her to find that in-between approach of at least rotating strike after picking up a single, picking up a boundary.
From the golf club, and this is a wide. Keeper and the sweeper do very well. Ana Leonardo Machava short. It's trying to call it a long step.
For me, I would really call that a long step because that fielder is literally almost right behind the batter or the wicket keeper. If you look at the fielder in your frame there, literally in the line of the square itself.
Yudni. Wides it will be. Welcome runs to Kenya who have already 6 runs. They gave away 21 runs in extras, Kenya. Championship team, they'll have to do better in the next game. And I would also love to see Mozambique not do the same thing. Like, let's get all their. It's only 50. but let them get it off the bat. Who's looked here like a godsend for Kenya, and that's second boundary for her. Zainaba Misi hitting one straight.
They're happy of the two dugouts there. The Kenyans enjoying the music. The DJs literally played one for them. Might appear like they put in a request there, but the replay there, the youngster balls that a bit down the leg side, is guilty for overcompensating, having bowled a wide far outside of stump. This time round, overcorrects, and this time that is simply clipped down to, if the fielder was at short fine leg innocent, they would have put a hand to it, but the fielder down there is at long stop.
Seeing bad man, no bad men here today. It's only good women. It's International Women's Day. In wides on offer. Your long stop, Davis. She gets her bike on, but there will be runs on offer. And I tell you what, shot before runs. Does the umpire indicate? Yes, Karen Claste does oblige. And she indicates there will be wide before them. Big over. Loading. Yeah. And big.
Well, not the start that Mozambique would have wanted to have, especially defending. Not many runs, just 57 runs. But this bowling has allowed Kenya to quickly get out of the blocks. I don't think it's more of getting out of the blocks. They have literally crushed through the blocks. They are at 15 for no loss with one ball to go in the first over.
It is Zainabu because she had made Mozambique pay for every lapse. And Davis, as we end the first over, will come back with a beautiful storyline in the second over because now the score is 17 without loss after one. Malena Augusto Gulela from the airport end. One of the girls I'll be whispering to after this. That's only if you're attacking, you look smarter as a cricketer. SpaceX taught very early. She starts with a good one. Full and straight. No freebies there for Tanya Atieno. Facing for the first time in the game.
I'd like to get a replay on that one just to see where she actually delivered from. Seemed like she appeared to have bowled that one from the popping crease. Literally just in front of the umpire. Don't know if it is intentional. If it is, that can be a very good variation. We've seen a couple of international bowlers actually use that kind of approach.
Again there onto the pads, but no run. Malena Ernesto Gulela won't be conceding runs off her first two balls because that's a leg by Davis. Look at those extras, the column of extras. Zainaba Misi, 10 runs, but the extras.
Yeah, a lot of the teams and the coaches, especially in the tournament, will be paying keen attention on that particular column. Been speaking about it the whole day, especially because this is underage cricket. You feel that you want to get the players to bowl as straight and full as possible.
Again onto the Ravi Ankara doesn't agree. Zainaba Misi kicking the ball there. Malena, better lines from her team. Full of her name. Murere. Their deft touch, square driven. Shift on his on day one of the IC Division 2 Cup Africa qualifier. Run into all teams in Division 1 and get another chance to fly onto an Airbus from your country to go to Dar es Salaam in September. This only run find over from Malena.
Been an admirer of again this Mozambique symphony of sorts, finding their voices out there, not worried about what the score is. It's what you want to see. You want to see youngsters looking to enjoy themselves, and with that dot ball brings an end to a beautiful over from Malena of first time of asking. Kenya and 19 for no loss after 2.
Toss clapped onto the onside. Don't take the head of the batter, Amisi, and she survives. So it's a free hit now. And the one batter who is yet to ignite the gears there has a chance to break the shackles. Tanya Atiano, what can you do?
Yes, and a little surprised that there is no change in the field strength. A free hit, you'd have thought that the third man maybe would have come in and they'd get extra protection on the onside. That hasn't happened. And Tanya goes for a hoik. Doesn't get it anywhere past the 30-yard. And she's still on note. After facing 5 deliveries, she won't get off that mark.
The advice from the dugout is clear. She's got one job to do. Look at the ball. Wides it will be. It was Column not working in the favor of the Mozambicans. A good friend of mine is the ambassador of Uganda, Mozambique. An entrepreneur and the sponsor of many young golfers. Oscar Semawere, who's studied at GSS and played cricket in the era of the Ndimuivos. Bob Ndimuivo, if you're watching.
You know, as they usually say, birds of the same feather. That you're rolling with excellence. Can only be hoping that some of that excellence from your colleagues will start to rub off you, Innocent.
Again, Davis trying to use a panga to peel potatoes. For whatever reason, I don't know why. Someone must tell him, power is nothing without control. Just buy a knife to do the job. But the target is wrong, the information is wrong, and the world is listening.
Speaking about the world listening, the world is watching this particular encounter on match day number 1, match number 2 between Kenya and the Mozambique. Tanya is still unable to get off that mark. Well, she did get 2. she'll want to score a bit better. She hasn't looked like she's been in she hasn't found any bit of rhythm or flow. She hasn't looked as well as her opening partner Zainab. Played some elegant shots. So I feel like Tanya needs to just play a simple brand of cricket.
Playing with the edge there. Throw not good. Back up not good. Chance to run for the sec. And guess what? Tanya is getting freebies here in a very expensive Entebbe town.
Great cricketing weather here. Sun is out. The leg side over at Entebbe.
Again, they are trying to go for power, but that on bottom hand. At the halfway stage on 26. Lots. Reminding her that Sade, she's got enough to fly her. And look at the full toss, not punished again. Look at the ferocity from the throw from the fielders. Not what the doctor called for.
It's really again for Zainab and Tanya. Wherever they have tried to hit the ball too hard, because they end up losing their shape, they're not able to get the timing they're looking for. I feel like knowing Morris, that's much better.
The shot on, no relief. He says he would love to see them knock it around, but the big have set the field. You may think it's in error, but looks like they know the thing will try batting. When they go aerial, De La Rosa will feel guilty, not able to help her partner Virgilino Mandlate to pick up a wicket here. Full face from Anya, who is really here. Beautiful. Really?
I think that's a lot better because at least she maintained her shape and she got right behind that one. She looks a lot better that way than when she goes for a hoik and loses her shape entirely. But then she's not able to get the timing she's looking for.
Quite an offer. Halfway there, like the score says. Little chance here in the dugouts. Sorry, I beg your pardon, in the comms box. join us here for the remaining 6 days of action. I tell you what, it's going one-way traffic. Kenya bring up the 30. No loss. Malawi not even needing the bus, just crossing the road and coming through to watch this one. They're staying at a very beautiful hotel. Wicket down. Malawi show a lot of athleticism in the field. The one that was scoring the runs, Zainaba Misi, is the one that is dismissed for 15 of 12. And against the run of play, Mozambique the keeper back. 15 of 12.
At that open stance there. Drop and runs. But yet again, unfortunately for the youngster there, Zainabu, she slips. And a run out is very easily affected. The question for me, Innocent, we do speak about, I don't know how often we do speak about it, but the spirit of the game. Do you think at that particular stage, again, let me put you on the spot. Do you think if it, I kind of know the answer if it were you in that position, but do you think it is that particular dismissal yet again brings or reignites that debate of when to apply the spirit of the game, or it should be universal and collectively unified, utilized as and when a cricket game is actually happening?
As an umpire, I'm not a coach, but I speak as an umpire. Cricket has a set of equipment that is required for one to play. The spikes, get the running stats in place. The spirit of the game does count for nothing if dismissals like that were not part of the game. Or else will remove run out from the dismissals batsmen who have hit all over the park to continue to king up reprieves. Go.
Stuff from me there, Innocent, not hanging on the fence. Even in that type of question, a lot of people generally like to hang on the fence because they like to apply the spirit of the game conveniently. Yeah, but for me, I think really it was just a tough luck for the youngsters. Zainab, I think she had a decent outing with Batinana. She was decent as well behind the stumps. Innocent rightly states that maybe she needs to put in some thought to the equipment in terms of her footwear. But back to the cricket itself. Our opening partner, Tanya, is continuing to find some wood on that one, outside edge of the bat. Runs it down to third man for 2 runs. Scoreboard keeps ticking. Kenya cruising and getting closer and closer to that 57 runs mark. Pick up their first victory in the tournament.
Tanya 7 from 14. Strike rate is 50, not bad. The extras have done most of the work. And there they are. Make that 13 extras in the innings. Mozambique. 52. Especially on how to read the conditions. To them, but in cricket, learn every day. The tournament ends in class. Leonildo Mashava. Also the keeper. It's that that's number 11. That's what I saw today. In the look. That is creamed through the covers. That's how she power hitter, even for the senior women's team of Kenya. And the runs continue to flow. This is a very good over. Now just 20 more needed.
Right in the block out there. Unfortunately for White, had a bit of width on it, on offer. Allowed Melvin to lean into that one and hit that right through that vacant cover region. And she does exactly the same thing, copy and paste kind of stuff here. Melvin is dealing in boundaries. She wants to get this done and dusted pretty fast. The Kenyan captain is out there leading from the front. A lot has been spoken about her. She's getting an opportunity to showcase what she can do with bat in hand. She did show us what she can do earlier on with ball in hand. We know her as an opening batter for that Kenyan national team, women's national team. This time around, she's having the responsibility of batting at first drop. Short and wide delivery. She bounced on that one beautifully through the covers.
And see what Tanya Atiano wants. She wanted a double, but Melvin, still 18. She's played for Kenya in 51 matches, women T20I internationals. That is experience, Davis. You'll never get in a spa. She has a total of 249 runs from 30 innings. She's also got wickets, 52 of them. This career is going to be a big one for Melvin. Coming, of course, from another cricketing family, Marion Juma and another Idambo, the opening bowler for Kenya, the sister. At the end of the fifth, Regina Osvaldo Mazumba, the bowler from the airport, end to bowl here, the sixth, the last of the power play. She keeps it out. 11 runs required. 9 for Melvin from 5 balls now. Both games, Davis, have been early workouts. Quick finishes for the teams chasing. Malawi chasing in 6.3. The young Queens. Here's Melvin sizing up this one. She will cream it over the and roll over the ropes.
And just looking at the two games we've had so far on match day number 1, you feel like both Malawi and Kenya have set an early marker for the teams in the tournament. They do mean business. Melvin is leading from the front, looking at her figures. An 18-year-old being played 51 games for Kenya already. Speaks a lot to do with the experience. Looking at that, just enough width on that one. She manages to hit that over the infield comfortably for that boundary of the inning.
Little beautiful angling. She'll get 2 runs and she'll stone strike. Exactly what Tanya wants. Tanya, I think, has put a price tag on her not out today, more than the ranches for Kenya.
But Melvin has shown us how dominant she is outside of stump. See one of those deliveries that actually gets jacked back into her. See how strong she is on that aspect of her game.
And March, this contest is done and dusted. It is Kenya's day, it is Malawi's day. East and Central Africa rising above. Western Africa. Umpires look at each other, but the scoreboard tells you the full story in its entirety. Melvin Kagoisa, 15 from 7, and the reverse is true for Tani Atieno, who's got 7 from 15. 57 for 1. Kenya win by 9 wickets. A comfortable chase, a stroll in the park on a Sunday afternoon.
The match summary there. But Mozambique managing to win the toss and electing to bat first, but they could only get 56 runs as they were skittled out. Unfortunately for Kenya, they conceded 26 extras, but in response, Kenya made light work of 57. They managed to hit that down in just under 6 overs. They actually first just 5.4 overs, winning by 9 wickets. That was led by their captain, Melvin, who got 15 of 7. Together with Zainabu, a decent start, got 15 of 13, and Atieno Taina managed to get 7 of 15. Not much to write home about for the Mozambique bowlers, but lessons to take home. Kenya winning by 9 wickets. Do stay with us. Some very good performances there for the Kenyans. Right from the bowlers, Rogers managed to pick up 4 for 14, Natamba 2 for 4, and Oloch 2 for 10. But it's those batters there, led by the captain Melvin, 15 of 7, Hamisis 15 of 13, and Atieno, who got 7 of 15, making light work of these ranches. But do stay with us for the post-match presentation.
A good afternoon. Welcome to the post-match presentation for the second game on match day number 1, where Kenya was playing Mozambique. Mozambique put on 56 all out, and Kenya was able to chase this 57 for 1 in just 5.4 overs. Kenya won the game by 9 wickets. I'd like to start with the Mozambique captain, Amelia. Here with the coach, Amelia. Hard luck with the game today. What are the lessons that you have picked from this afternoon game?
Sim, foi um jogo bom. Não conseguimos ganhar, mas levamos alguma coisa e prometemos melhorar.
Thank you very much, Amelia. Thank you very much. I would like to ask the captain of Kenya, Melvin. Congratulations upon the win. You chased that for just a loss of 1, and you are on the wicket while Kenya did win the game. What are the positives moving into the tournament games tomorrow continuing?
Backing each other up, believing in ourselves, and knowing we can back our disadvantages with our advantages.
Okay. You initially wanted to bat first at the toss, I remember, but you started by fielding first and have picked some positives. There was a bit of athleticism in the field. What was the message that you as the captain was giving all the girls as you were playing this afternoon?
I was telling them to enjoy themselves, believe in themselves, just do what they know how to do best. They shouldn't worry about doing mistakes, and then it will be all right.
Okay, thank you very much. Congratulations, Captain Melvin. She said, believe in themselves and enjoy the game, and that is exactly what cricket is about. And for the player of the match, this will be given out by Madam Rita Tinka. Please step forward. Special mention to Melvin, the captain, who scored 15 runs and picked 1 for 14 and took a brilliant catch. Rochelle Atamba, who also picked 2 wickets for 4. But the player of the match this afternoon is Stella Rogers, who picked 4 wickets for 14 runs. Stella, please come and receive your award. Congratulations, Stella. Very well bowled. What was going through your mind as you were bowling this afternoon?
Nilikuwa tu nataka nipate wickets, alafu kitu kingine nilikuwa nataka tu ni ball straight kwa stumps ndio ndio then ball isienda wide, alafu ball ilikuwa ikienda wide, my teammates walikuwa wanani appreciate, alafu wananiambia try again, inakuja.
Okay. With the little Swahili, she said she just kept trying to bowl it straight and attempting to pick the wicket. Very well done. Congratulations, Stella, and good luck with the next games. At the end of match day 2, it's been action here at the ICC Under-19 T20 Africa Division 2 qualifier, where Kenya won the second game, and that marks the end of the post-match presentation. Good afternoon. Welcome to Match Day 1 recap. I'm here with Innocent Ndaula and Davis Karashani, myself Naomi Kayondo, to take you through what the action of Match Day 1 has been like. I will start with Davis. Davis, give us a brief about the outstanding bowlers that you have watched and observed in the first 2 games today.
Well, for me, as we wrap it up, especially to the day itself, for yet again, happy International Women's Day. Then I'll get straight into answering your question. I think for me, the bowlers today, it was a day that bowlers dominated. We saw the youngster Bridget, the left-arm orthodox spinner, coming and bowling decently well. She picked up 4 wickets for literally no runs at all. We also saw in the afternoon Stella Rogers as well picking up 4 wickets for 14 runs. You felt that those youngsters did just enough on a wicket, on the day 1 wicket, to actually pick up wickets. But more important, we saw that not many runs were conceded on the day, really, generally. So for me, I think today was such a fantastic bowlers' day.
Okay, thank you. Innocent, you have a couple of runs behind your name. So aspects about batting, you're very, very observant.
Pardon?
Tell us about
Pardon about that. Pardon, you
tell us about the outstanding batters that you have observed today.
Yeah, right from the morning, you could have seen that Sifiwe Frank and Angela Lumbe, how they batted and went about the business. And then earlier on, they had work, like David said, Bridget Kisinja, the player of the match, had done good work with the ball for Malawi. In the afternoon, you saw that even in a losing cause, Team Mozambique had a batter that held her fort right there. And then in the chase, you could see that the captain, Melvin Kagwesa, when she came in, she was screaming everything down the ground nice and easy after some good work done by Tanya Atieno there and the keeper batter, Hamisi. And so you like to feel that it's been a batter's day in the chase. The teams that won the toss and elected to bowl, to bat first, have paid the price here. So the chases have been very easy for the teams chasing. So big victory, but also allow me what I should have said with happy International Women's Day. And first things first, next time, please ask me to lend you my shirt because it would have gone very well with your bandana and with your shoes. You would have made a kill of a look today.
Thank you very much, Innocent. Davis, you kept mentioning the symphony and the choirs, especially of Team Malawi and Mozambique. What is the impact of that kind of encouragement, especially at this level of under-19?
Well, I think what you need to understand as well is that today 24 wickets actually fell throughout the entire day. So, and more importantly, felt that it's the slower bowlers who had a bigger effect on the wicket. And more importantly, felt, speak about the aspect of the symphony. Symphony basically, again, is it's a variable to aspects to do with supporting each other, teamwork, and more importantly, enjoyment, which for me is something that is extremely important, especially for underage cricketers. It's key that you find a way of ensuring that the pressures that come with perhaps not just performing, but actually going there to make a name for themselves, for their countries. You need to find a way of ensuring that that pressure does not actually affect the players in terms of enjoying. So for me, generally, that's what you want to see. You want to know that by the end of 8 match days, all the 5 teams that are playing the tournament have had experiences for them to have enjoyed the tournament.
Okay. Thank you. Innocent, your last question here is about the techniques and tactics. You kept talking about the need for Melvin to just reduce or cut that pace a bit. How important are tactics and techniques for this level of cricket for the girls?
Yeah, that's, like we always say, me and Davis, because me and him have been in so many battles at ICC fronts. Him as a captain, maybe me as a media manager, not actually on the playing field, but a lot of cricket is played in the dugout. ICC events are cutthroat events. If you snooze, you lose. And the areas of margin are very thin. A scenario like in this tournament could go down to net run rate. This tournament could go down to the team that bowled the most wides. This tournament could go down to a scenario where rain has played spoil sport and only 66% of the games have been played, which actually do come up with a full tournament in terms of, if 66% of the games have been played, that's a full tournament. So in such a scenario when the rest of the games are not being played, you could be thinking, I'll beat Mozambique at the very end of the tournament, and you will never ever get to play Mozambique rather than see them walk past you in the hotel and walk into the Division 1. So the tactics here are very, very important. Net run rate will come into play, so it was very important for Kenya and Malawi to chase down their scores in 6.3 and 5.4 overs, respectively. At the end of the day, it's going to tell a whole world of difference and who will get that Airbus to Dar es Salaam in September.
Okay. Thank you very much, Innocent. Well, you've heard it from Davis, Innocent and myself, but it is a round-robin tournament, and tomorrow for the fixtures, Kenya will be playing Cameroon in the morning, and Malawi will be playing Sierra Leone in the afternoon here at the Lakeside Oval. That brings an end to our match day 1 recap.